Yeah.
Lock in your votes and get ready to celebrate 10 years of the Game Awards.
I mean,
we'll see you live on Thursday, December 7th.
What are we gonna say? What? Let me just let me compose myself, folks.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
I'm going to pause this shenanigans.
Yeah, I'm still on there right now, so it's okay.
So, well, your local cloud player is fine. Mine is not.
God knows. Mad.
Gonna kill our views.
Anyway, next up in news, it's the Game Awards nominees.
Yeah, I typed Game Awards are dumb. And it's not a shot. Like, I mean, for Jeff, it's just to make a ton of money. I know he likes gaming, and he really likes making money in gaming.
All right, everybody, welcome back to another Xvault gaming video. Xvault here, and today we're going to go over your next dose of the salty batch files. That's right, this one themed around the Game Awards show, because it seems like a yearly occurrence at this point that the Xbox fanboys, fraud, shills, and grifters are crashing out ever so often. So it produces gold, and it's fun to point and laugh at the ridiculousness. So without further ado, let's go ahead and jump to it. All right, so like I said, what we're going to do is get right to the theme, the meat of the matter, if you will. And just like the openers there, they are dumbfounded, flabbergasted. Insert adjective here in regards to their disdain for the Game Awards, because they feel like the Xbox first-party games deserve announcements or categories for Game of the Year and stuff like that, and we'll address that in just a moment here. But before we get to the actual salt here, to convey that, here is a quick screen of what that looks like in between Nintendo, Xbox, and PlayStation. Take a look at this, hit pause, whatever you want to do to look this over a little further, because I want to get some context here. But this is what we're looking at in regards to why they're so salty, why they're so upset, because they just, I mean, look at that list. Speaks for itself, right? I don't need to go into detail here. But, and then in addition to that, again, you can hit pause here, whatever you want to do. Look at the nominations for publishing, etc., etc. This is another aspect to it as a whole. Obviously, we have more award shows other than just the Game Awards. That is the biggest at this point in time, still to this day, and all credit to Jeff Keighley and everybody else behind the scenes that help keeps this thing operational. But we have the Golden Joystick Awards and many others out there as well that have different categories, and sometimes they get different Game of the Years as well, right? So keep that in mind. And then finally, what I want to give for context, folks, for anybody that's saying it's the Jeff Keighley Awards, he doesn't vote. He doesn't do this. He doesn't do that. Yes, Sony helps fund some things as well. I'll be honest. But it's not enough to change anything. And guess what? Phil Spencer himself is an advisory on the board as well. So it's across many nuances, many different people, stuff like that. So when they try to keep these tinfoil hat things going, it's very interesting to see what they come up with for the next narrative or excuse. Now, that being said, now the context is out of the way. Let's get to the saltiness, shall we? Starting first of all here right now, we do have Axel Gaming 1324 stating, the Game Awards, where PlayStation exclusives compete against PlayStation exclusives and PlayStation wins. Shocking. And then, of course, who I thought was a catfish, may not be. Apparently popping in spaces. Exactly LOL, laughing emoji. Very odd that they partake in the console war side of thing and then get involved into the nonsense as well. But what's interesting is Expedition 33 is more assuredly going to win Game of the Year. I would be shocked if it didn't. I still haven't had my hands on it, so I can't speculate either way if it's a good game coming out of my hands-on experience, but the consensus is that's likely going to win Game of the Year. Last I checked, that was on Game Pass, which the Xbox fanboys are claiming is a win, of course, over PlayStation. But regardless, it's a multi-plat game, and it's not a PlayStation exclusive, so Ghost of Yotei is not even in that category. So whatever narrative that helps them sleep better at night, the delusion is strong. As we continue here, Anna Anson, right? idiot. I am so proud of you that you defeated AAA games like Ghost of Yotei that doesn't deserve to win, TBH, right? Coming in regards to Kingdom Come's Deliverance to us at the Golden Joystick Awards, right? And I thought it was a funny little gift there. But yeah, just salty again. Ghost of Yotei doesn't deserve to win. They haven't even touched the game. They're upset because it's a Sony first-party AAA exclusive. Trying to add to the narrative, guys. Trying to add to the narrative of what, I don't know, kind of ridiculous in my opinion, but it speaks for itself, so let's continue. Gamer Brain here. You honestly believe an award show that gives Astrobot Game of the Year has any credibility? I have an ice bridge to sell you. I love ice bridges, especially if it's going to be somewhere very cold, Greenland, Alaska, something like that, where it's going to hold up. I have nothing wrong with that bridge. But you mean the highest rated game last year? Dumb moron. Andrea happens to state. And it is the highest rated game last year. Astrobot was absolutely phenomenal. If you have any inclination to enjoy or like platformer games, this is in a masterclass of its own, right up there with like Mario Odyssey, which I thoroughly enjoyed. I think it's a fantastic game. Loved it from beginning to end. And of course you get the semi-demo. Even though it is a full game, it is a smaller size scope game that does come packed into every PlayStation 5. Astro's Playroom, also phenomenal, and was kind of the groundwork, the blueprint, if you will, for the actual platformer. And before that, they had a phenomenal entry with the PlayStation VR entry for Astrobot VR Rescue Mission. So, loved every iteration of this series, and they continue to get better. It continues to basically define and sculpt itself to become better and better and better. And Astrobot also kept putting out more and more DLC absolutely for free, which was great as well. But they are very salty. At the end of the day, very salty that this game won, especially it being a platformer, right? That hurts them to the nth degree, even hurts some Nintendo fanboys as well, because they are upheld to be more so the king of platformers. So Astrobot hurt the gaming the gaming fanboys across the medium in so many ways, shapes, and forms. But let's continue going. We have what stating these MFs think rigged awards mean anything when Xbox knows they're begging for their games. Yeah. Reiterating this, these MFs think rigged awards mean anything when Xbox knows they're begging for their games. No. I think what I understand here, no. Again, this speaks for itself. Hands off here. I'm not going to speak more on this. There's a lot to unpack. We can sit there and do psychology here, but I'm not going to be touching this one too much further on it. Kind of ridiculous, but let's get over to our tried and true Snap Blast play here. I'd rather have 12 times the awesome first-party games drop into Game Pass this year than a meaningless award from crooked Jeff Keighley that has absolutely zero impact on me or my life. A bunch of laughing emojis. Interesting. I like to unpack this one for a second, right? He'd rather have 12 times or 12 more awesome first-party games drop into Game Pass this year than a meaningless award. This doesn't affect him whatsoever, guys. However, it doesn't affect him so much that he still has to make a post. He still has to make a delusional point that it's crooked game awards because it doesn't include anything from Xbox as Game of the Year category. And it's not even saying that their games aren't in other categories and or couldn't win, but they're so salty that they're not getting that one category that's been so elusive to them. And there's one resolution for this. It's called make a good game. Make an amazing game. We have to take it a step further. This is the Game Awards. We don't get runner-ups or pity awards to get them in the category of the year, whether that be the Grammys, the Emmys, or the Game Awards themselves. Do we see what's going on with all that? Absolutely ridiculous. Saltiness to the nth degree, once again, and it doesn't bother him so much, but he has to make posts, multiple posts, and posts about this every single year. But I wonder if it would be crooked if there was a year that Xbox finally did it. What would the caveat be? But let's continue. Polywar, this guy is short of any brain cells whatsoever, but as we continue with him, vamos! Ghost of Yote has been crushed by Donkey Kong and is out of the running for Game of the Year nominees. So this person was trying to grift and push for Xbox. If you haven't known or didn't know anything about this idiot, he's now trying to grift his way over to the Nintendo side of things. Go suck it, you filthy, whatever that stands for, you SOBs, right? It has an AI cartoon image of Donkey Kong choking out or trying to choke out, it looks like, another person resembling the protagonist of Ghost of Yote. Kind of odd and just weird, touched in the brain in the not right way individual. So I don't think Donkey Kong crushed Ghost of Yote. I haven't had my hands on with Donkey Kong. But again, I can assure you, at the end of the day, the odds are it's going to be Expedition 33. We'll have to wait and see by the end of the day. There's a lot that goes into it, not just us voting, but everybody in the committee and the board and stuff like that. So we'll have to see who ends up taking home that award there, even though, again, Expedition 33 has been cleaning house so far in the other award shows. So we'll just have to wait and see. Again, I would be shocked, but salty, and the grift has turned to Nintendo. If all else fails in Xbox and them losing the console war, they can shift over to Nintendo because they're still successful on their hardware side. They still have exclusives. They still have all this stuff. That's a topic for another time, but watch a bunch of those grifters shift. I've already seen a lot already shift over to Nintendo, and of course a lot of them went over to PC shifting as well, or grifting if you will. But as we continue here, we have Falco chiming in, of course. Can't have this idiot not pop in here anymore. Falco X stating, and the winner of the Game Awards 2025 is Death Stranding 2 because Kojima is my friend. PlayStation pays me and the game didn't sell enough, so we need to push those sales a little bit further. Hyphen quoting Jeff Keighley, hashtag parentheses, save the tweet. Jeff Keighley obviously did not state this. And we'll have to see who takes it home, but just because Jeff is an extremely good friend of Kojima and has showcased his games on the award show does not mean he gets any of these extra kudos bonus points. Again, Jeff has nothing to do with the advisory board of voting or making those decisions, nor is he able or supposed to be influencing anybody on the board. But of course, you want to put on that tinfoil hat. You can believe what you want, but again, the saltiness is real. If there isn't anything to pin it on, it's going to be, oh, we're upset because this game's available on PlayStation and not on Xbox again right away. And it is what it is. So it hurts them. They go to bed with tears in their eyes every single time. I kid you not. So that being said, we will wrap up the video here. But like I said, final thoughts for this ultimately. And what's interesting to me is the fact that every year these guys crash out so hard over a Game Awards show, which has gone above and beyond. Every year it's done better and better. The quality's been better and better, showcased better and better. It's been entertaining. It's gotten better. At first it was kind of cringy and had to do all this stuff, right? But to credit to him, there was no such thing. And a lot of it started getting traction with the Game Awards itself, right? I really feel like put that in the spotlight. And at the end of the day, these awards shouldn't bother you because it doesn't affect you in the slightest. It's great to have that, it's great to have that information out there. It's great to have that presence out there that may help influence sales, but in a good way. It's good for the industry. This sort of stuff is good for the industry because it puts games in the spotlight. Maybe people haven't heard of it. Maybe people want to check it out, or it fell off a radar, whatever the case is. Nothing but positive things for this stuff. So if you are affected by Game of the Year category or any other categories, I understand nothing's going to be perfect. Again, the same thing happens in the Grammys, the Emmys, you name it. Whether your favorite artists, songs, movies, actors, actresses, whoever, whatever, get snubbed, don't get in there. It happens. These are just the shows to award hard work, put out that information, put that out for the world to see. And again, at the end of the day, you wake up the next day being you, doing what you need to do. So again, if these hurt you, bother you in any way, shape, or form, just take a deep breath, take a step back, and understand you can continue to do what you want, how you want, when you want, why you want, whatever's fun, whatever take you want to take away from that. That being said, again, we will wrap up the video. I appreciate that. If you made it to the end of the video, thank you all so much. You guys are all amazing. Pushing our way to that 4,000 sub goal. So if you have a like down below, I would appreciate that. Comment down below. Would love to hear from you. What do you think about all the shenanigans every year? Gotta love the crash outs. It's almost like Christmas every year to me. It's a lot of fun. That being said as well, if you haven't already subscribed, definitely consider doing so. If you want more of the truth, want more realistic realism views, no bull crap, no lying, no misinformation, anything like that, stick around for the channel. That's what we're here to do. So I appreciate you all once again. And also at the end of the day, just remember, don't be a salty batch. And we'll see y'all next time on the next Xvault gaming video. And until then, take care.